Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, Lagos. The way they will say good evening, Nigeria, good evening, the world. It's been a very demanding Friday. How is it at your end? How's work been this week? How is Nigeria teaching you? How is family? I can continue the how like that. I'm a Yoruba girl and we have an eku for everything when it comes to greeting. So I can literally greet you till thy kingdom come. But here is me saying that I'm welcoming you to Mind Your Character with Bosede Olusola-Obasa. This is that show that will never leave you the same way, always leaving you better than I met you. Something big is in the offing this month of September. You know I like my music, right? But I'm going to let it play. If you are used to this show, I'll always say that once you hear this music, it's time for Mind Your Character with Bosede Olusola-Obasa. I will let it come down slightly, just so you can hear me a little better. Welcome again, everyone. Welcome. These are interesting times in the world that we live in. My parents have been out of the country for some months now, and I was speaking with them yesterday, and they were saying with the feedbacks we are hearing from Nigeria, we're kind of scared about how we will survive. Like, they can't imagine the rate at which the prices of things have skyrocketed. For instance, I love poundo a lot. This can be like free advert for the people who make poundo, but I love it a lot. At least a way to run away from bam. And when you are not using, or when there is no yam at home, or you are not using the food processor, which also gives you absolutely the same result. For those who insist on pounding, God bless your soul. But so I was saying to my children also yesterday that, can you imagine the difference between the amount I used to buy? I was referring to the different sizes and what they sell for now. The difference is what they call 7-Up. To put it in a lighter mode, it's very, 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 very real. They are interesting times for everyone. Interesting because I always choose to see things from the brighter side. I always tell myself that if life will not allow you, allow yourself. If situations will not favor you, favor yourself. Speak the right things to yourself and be happy. So they are interesting times, honestly. And that's not the show for today, but I just thought I should let you know that as it be for your end, now so it be for everybody end. So if you see people who are smiling, you see people who are excited, you see people who are praising God, you see people who are going to church, you see people who are committed to service of humanity, it does not mean that they don't feel what you feel. It just means that they have chosen how to handle what is going on or what they feel. So much for checking up with you or checking up on you for this show today. The show is Mind Your Character with Bosede Olusola-Obasa, and on this show we learn, we unlearn, we relearn. We unlearn counterproductive attitudes, character, and values. We relearn strong values, strong or sound character. And then we learn the things we never knew before that we suddenly found out could do our life a world of good. Welcome. I've not been on the show for 2 weeks, and I want to say good kudos to the team that handled the Instagram live. For those of you who might be watching on Facebook, you might think that we have not been having the show. We traveled to IG Street. So we've been there and hosting one guest or the other, and everything has got to do with the National Character Parenting Summit. So I'm not supposed to back the camera, but I'm going to do just to show you what I'm saying. So if you can read it, National Character Parenting Summit, just there. That is what the conversation has been about. This year, we are trying to create a dent, even if we cannot make a major change. And it has to do with values. So what has values got to do with even the issue we are going through in Nigeria now? A lot of consideration is a value. So when you are inconsiderate, you are valueless when it comes to consideration. So today I'm asking you, are you values able or valueless? Do you contain value? Do you carry value? What do you value? Because what you value determines what you put your energy in, what you put your strength into, what you put your money into. What you value is crucial conversation. At the National Character Parenting Summit, I just showed you right behind me, this year we are talking values. There are so many perspectives and tilt to value. I welcome you, my dear sister. I can see Sister Nki joining. Thank you for joining. You know, when a host of a show is watching you, you better watch your back. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining. I have missed everybody on this my Facebook wall. I have not brought my character to you. I apologize. Some people might be thinking that has she stopped? Has she not stopped? Anyway, so here you are. So this September, the 30th day of September, teenagers, parents, grandparents, educators, education consultants, education regulators, everybody who has a thing for family will be gathering under one roof. That roof is called the National Character Parenting Summit, the 9th edition. Wow, God has been good. The 9th edition. And we are going to be going forward to discuss values. Sorry, if you are watching on Mind Your Character, something just happened to your phone. It will be back. I had to just let you know. Okay, so we're talking values and we're saying going back to the basics. What are the basics? Please, when you were growing up, for those who are alive now, what were the things you can remember that my mom taught me this? My dad insisted on this. For instance, in our home, my parents insist on honesty. They insisted and they still insist, even though I'm not living under their roofs anymore. Honesty is said to be the best legacy. How true is it? Do you have honesty? If you don't have honesty as one of the values that you uphold, then you are not valuable on that platform. So when I'm saying, are you valuable? And I'm playing on words, but I use values and able, and use values and less. But the play on words is just an attention catcher. The truth is that values are crucial to business. There are companies where I have had to train over and over again about the need for you to uphold integrity. Integrity is a value. Is one of the sets of values you can uphold in your business. And when people get to know you for that value, it sells your market for you. It defends your niche in that sphere, in that industry. Once people know that, oh, you can do business with this guy, he's never going to steal your money, he's never going to make away with your investment, then they, yes. See, so I have Madam Inky saying that my mom insisted on respect to older people. My mom insisted on honesty. One of the things they can beat you for, let me tell this story. I was very, very young. I was in the primary school. And then this day, I had been given, was it 10 naira? Now I'm struggling with the value of the naira as then. I doubt if we got anything 10 naira around that time. It must have been 10 kobo or something. Anyway, long and short was I was supposed to spend half of the amount and retire half as change. I don't know what got into me, because I should know my parents better, right? Long and short, I spent it and got home and started saying one thing. The beating I received in my life that day is in the annals and the histories of my life forever. That is how much they were trying to drive the value of honesty into me. So today, if I do business with you and you can go to sleep, it did not start today. It started from way back. So today I can say I have that value of honesty. And you know, honesty, integrity, faithfulness, trustworthiness, how come they are all gradually becoming Otilo? How come? What is happening from home? So at NCPS this year, we are encouraging people that if you don't have values, you are valueless. Take it from me, Bosede Olusola-Obasa, I'm the one that said it. If you do not live your life by values, you are a valueless person. Meaning that anything can push you left, right, and center. Today they say that it is thief, they are thieving, to make money. You jump on thieving. Tomorrow they say it is robbery, they are doing, to make ends meet. You jump on robbery. That's what I mean by being valueless. It means that you don't even have a foothold and you are not strong on anything. Don't forget that Lao Tzu said in his quote, that is very phenomenal quote. He said that if you don't stand for anything, if you don't stand for something, pardon me, you will fall for anything. I can see Madam Nono. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How you doing, How are we preparing for resumption this Monday? And I can see Mr. Olodun. Thank you so much for joining. So I'm on the matter of values. The thing that lack of values have done to us in Nigeria alone is enough for us to make it a national campaign. And I'm not going to begin to pick again on the National Orientation Agency, because this is their work. This is their work to continue to orientate the nationals in Nigeria about the need to uphold sound values. Values that will help us as a nation. Talk about patriotism. But you see, you can't be talking patriotism when corruption is heavy at the top. I didn't mention anybody's name. But I'm saying that how can values become integrated? It is top-bottom approach that works the best. It is not saying that some people are supposed to uphold certain values. And people say that, our values are being depleted. Who depleted it? You and I. We stopped making it a choice. Certain other things looked more, attractive to us. And we jettisoned our values. If we must go so far, we will need to get back to this value table. That's why at National Character Parenting Summit this year, our team of volunteers have said that we want to go back to the basics. I'll be so glad to have everyone who is watching live or will catch up with this later come into the room. What I like about NCPS is that it's a conversation. People are comparing notes. You are going back and saying, now so it be for your side, now so it be for my side. And then we tell ourselves the own truth and we go back and make the changes. Sister Anki said, if you don't live your life by values, you are valueless. That's the truth. The thing that brings values indeed to people is not how much they are worth in terms of net worth financially. It is how much of values they carry in their lives. Literally. And I love values because they make decisions for you up front. Today when somebody, like in one of the shows, I was saying that, I think it's a recording I did recently. And I was saying that the next time you tell me that you don't know what is right or wrong, I will ask you, to you, what is right or wrong? You must know what's right or wrong to you. There must be a framework of reference where you can decide that this thing, it could be your religion. So your religion can influence your values. And they call it Christian values. If you are a Christian, I'm sure that Muslims have values too. Sanctity of the life or the soul of a man is a value that everybody should uphold. So when people are killing their babies for 100 naira these days, I'm wondering. I've heard some very amazing stories. Let me put it like that. About people killing for amounts that, and they are not even the people that are carrying gun. That you say, they were arms. They were armed. Accidental discharge. This one didn't accidental anything. 100,000 for a baby's life. To kill and to walk away. We have come so far. And I'm afraid things might not get better except individuals begin to uphold personal values that are sound and strong. It's up to you. It's up to me. And if you are a parent, there's even more on your shoulders, because apart from sustaining and upholding your own personal values, you now have the responsibility of passing it on. Values are transferable. Values are assets. They can be transferred like wealth to the next generation. Did I say they can? They should. They should be transferred. They are assets. It's like when you have a rich endowment of whatever kind of assets is very, very precious to you. And you have children. And at a point in time, you are willing to them one after the other. You are giving them as heritage. It's the same way that we should transfer values. They are assets. Values are assets that should be transferred. Should I shock you? Values do not go stale. The method of transferring them might change, but values are sacrosanct. Yes. One of our discussers at the NCPS is even handling a special session. Pastor Bosede Olusola-Obasa says values are transferable. That is true. They are and they should. So the responsibility on our shoulders to ensure that. So because today when your son just wakes up and says, "Mommy, I think like a boy." She's a girl, oh. A girl you have been bringing up at 2 or 3. "Mommy, I think like a boy. So I believe I should have come as a boy." What a conversation. But these things are conversations that you must be ready to chest in the days that we live in. Whatever you have taught that child build up to that time will determine whether this conversation will not go the wrong way. And how patient and methodological you might be to be able to help that child. What about the values of patience and process? It's fast eroded. Today, somebody says, "My daddy was a civil servant. He worked for 30 years. They only gave him 1 clock. We grew up poor. We couldn't afford basic meal." Blah, 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 blah. So those evidences are there. Yes. But do you know that it wasn't the fact that your daddy didn't steal? That wasn't the only reason why he was poor. There will be other things. So they say that because he refused to steal, he ended up a poor man. So the sons and the daughters are telling themselves, "No way. Who sincerity help? Who trustworthiness help? I am going to take the sharp routes my daddy failed to take." But you see, the interesting thing about processes and patience is that if you skip it, you will return back to honor it. You must pay your dues. You must pay your dues. So decide whether you want to pay it early or you want to pay it later. Don't forget that quote, that phenomenal quote that says there are 2 pains in life. The pain of regret and the pain of commitment. Choose one. Choose one and choose when you want to face it. So these are conversations we should have averagely regularly. But you see, at NCPS this year, on the 30th day of September, please don't miss it. Any young person that you know, any elderly person that you, because that day we'll be taking the wisdom of the very elderly, mixing it with those that are in between, mixing it with the young people. Everyone has a say at NCPS. Let's see how little we can do. There's so much work, but my team and I are committed. It's a team of volunteers. A lot of CEOs, they just down tool and say we are volunteering for this cause. And this has been happening for 9 years already. It's amazing. It's amazing. God has given us life, and one of the reasons he has is so that we can make impact. This year, values, going back to the basics. Let's get back to the basics and talk about values. Let's help our youngsters see that values have not become old school. No! The methods have become more dynamic, but the values haven't changed. Go to England today. Patience is patience. Go to Australia. Trustworthiness is trustworthiness. Go to Argentina. Truthfulness is truthfulness. Go to anywhere. Integrity is integrity. They are universal. I'm at the risk of saying they are eternal even. I mean, because if you look at them as Christian values, then you know they are eternal. But if you're looking at them from the book version, from the corporate world version, maybe core values, maybe all of that, then you might not say they are eternal. Well, but you see, as much as I do, I even tell my clients that if you want to build a centenary organization, you must value, protect, and vault your values. Your values are simply the things that you value. What do you value? You value money. That's not wrong. But at what expense? Those are the real conversations. So everyone who is alive and older should be able to articulate what their personal values are. If till now you can't say my personal values are blah, 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 you are wrong. I'm not saying your company value, I'm saying you. So that when issues happen or you confront things, you can say to yourself, this is not within the framework of my values. You take decisions easily. And people are like, why are you walking away for so much money? For you, the money is not as important as what you value. Your values simply tell me what you value. Yes, I have 2 quotes to end today's show because time is fast spent and I have to go. The first one says, so today we've been asking the question, are you values-able or values-less? It's not a Jennifer English I'm speaking, no. I'm just playing on words. Are you values-able? Are you values-enabled or your values-less? Because if you lack value, you are valueless. If you lack values, you are valueless. If you lack values, you are valueless. Articulate your values. You must be able to identify. From 18, somebody should be able to say, these are the things that I stand for in life. For those of us who are Christians, we go to church, we read the Bible. You can pick values from there. It could even be a Bible character that influences, okay, what were the things that made this particular person strong? And you say, oh, I go with blah, blah, blah. And you commit yourself. Values are not mere words, oh. They are commitments. They are commitments. Commitments to how. So in your life as a valuable person, you cease to be somebody who just asks the question, what did you do? Or what did I do? You say, how did I do it? Because it's not just about what you do, but how you do it. I have a few people who have, yes, if you don't live your life by value, you're valueless, yes. And my mom insisted, yes, that was Sister Nkechi. Values are assets and universal. Do not go still. Yes, they are eternal, okay? And then articulate your values. They are a commitment. They are not just, that's why when you go to companies that write our core values and they write 7 things there, and you do business with them for a few weeks and like, I can't see any of the things you guys wrote there. They don't understand yet. Please invite me to such companies. I can help them activate their core values and make it practical in their accounting department, in their operations department, because core values are the things that determine how you do things, not just what you do. Not just what you do. So Albert Einstein said, try not to become a man of success. Rather, become a man of value. Now, it's playing on words. Because people of this generation will say, what are you saying? Are you saying now I should fail? No. He's not saying you should fail. He's just saying that as you are striving to get success, don't forget to carry values along. Because your success will be valueless at the end of the day without strong values. Take it from me. And the last one says, a person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. What do you value? It's easy to pick values. Just sit down and dissect yourself. What do I value? That's how you get to know whether you value the things that are off. And then you can start re-engineering and taking corrections. I was watching the inauguration of Donald Trump some years ago. And the officiating minister, I've forgotten his name now, I used to have his name by heart. The officiating minister released a quote that has not left me since then. He said that the wealth of nations does not reside in their vaults, but in their values. The wealth of nations do not reside in their vaults where they keep money or trinkets or those treasures, but in their values, meaning that values are worthwhile. You should vault your values. You should protect it. You should defend it. When you see things that go against it, you should tell yourself, what did Joseph do in the Bible? He ran. That was in defense of his value as somebody who will never get down with another person's wife. He had values. So, I beg, this is not a matter of long talk. I got to go now. Thank you everyone who has joined me. Don't forget to I've given you invitation to National Character Parenting Summit, 30th of September. I'll be so glad to see Sister Anki. I'll be so glad to see Mr. Oladujoye Adegbe Yemi. And I'm a Yoruba girl. Kai, have mercy on me, sir. Then I'll be glad to see Mr. Yemi Olodun. I'll be glad to see Nono, my darling sister from Punch Days till now and forever. And every other person will catch up with this. Thank you all for joining. Thank you everyone who joined on Instagram. Thank you for those who joined on Mind Your Character Facebook. That date is 30th. I will leave the flyer at the comment section, and I'll also ensure that the link to register is included there. So just to register, it is free to attend. It's one place you will love. There are people who have been attending SPA from year 1, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in year 9, which is this year. We'll be glad to see you. Hey, thank you, Mr. Olodu. So thank you everybody. Thank you everybody. If you have questions about how to attend, please let us know. Just leave comments on any of the platforms where we have streamed to this afternoon, and it will be my pleasure. I only hope that I've been able to remind you of something today, that values are important. See, all of us are racing these days. Everybody's running to make ends meet. People are telling you that you are the only one left behind. Well, take values along, because if you don't, you will come back for them. Hoping that it's not even too late by that time. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. It's time to say the goodbyes. Let me make this music play louder so that it can escort you to your house in case you are still at home. What do I mean? Still at work, if you are still going. Like me now, I'm still at work. Okay, so enjoy the Mind Your Character music. Bye. God bless you. Enjoy your weekend. Peace and out. I was taught to say that. Bye-bye. I was taught by James.